Senior sports reflection.
Take one, Jessica Kravitz.
My name is Rebecca Benisha.
I'm Jordan Gedgerman. I play varsity hockey.
My name is Jessica Kravitz. I play varsity volleyball, and I've been on the team for 4 years now.
My first high school practice was every Sunday morning. We used to have practices either 8:30 to 10, 10 to 11:30, and it was, always something you had to wake up to looking after Shabbos. Oh, we have practice Sunday morning.
I remember it was a tryout, and I met this senior girl named Sophie Tawil putting up the net, and I was just like talking to her, and I thought she was so cool. I was next to Tara Klein, who's been on the team for years as well, and she was like, I think you're actually one of the good freshmen. And I got so honored because there were so many girls trying out.
First practice. Remember, I knew Rabbi Harris knew the coach, so I wasn't that nervous. I was nervous because I was a new school, I was a freshman. Rabbi basically said, the coach, he's like, everyone here's gonna make the team, but what we do with our year, it's up to you guys.
I first met Rabbi Harris in summer in Camp Avnet. The year before my 4th grade year, he was my chinuch rabbi, and I was actually going to have him that next year in HANC. I think Rabbi just, not only is he a wonderful coach I have, but I feel like he is able to lift your spirits up well and lighten the mood no matter what's happening in the game.
So my first interaction with our graduating seniors was actually in 4th grade, when I was lucky enough to teach Judah, Jakey, Isaac, and Joey. And even from 4th grade, you could tell that they were athletic, they were into sports, and I was really looking forward to the next year when they would be able to try out for the hockey team. All 4 of them made it in 5th grade, and it was the beginning of an absolutely amazing and wonderful relationship of being able to teach them and coach them for 8 straight years.
I remember the first time meeting Adam. He was the girls' varsity coach at the time, and I was on JV. And I just remember to be on the varsity team, and really looking forward on being on the varsity team.
Okay, so in my career volleyball, I've had 2 coaches. For 3 years, I had a coach named Batya. She was amazing. She was great. She taught me almost everything I know.
We found out that Batya wasn't gonna return to HANC. We needed a coach. I knew of Danielle Benhama through her sisters Noah and Gabby, and she'd come to a few games because Noah was on the team. So at the end of the game, I would go up to her and I was like, can you please be our coach next year? Because I knew she went to HANC. I knew she was passionate about the sport. And she's like, I don't know, maybe. Came to the first practice and she was so on top of us, so good with all these drills, and she taught me how to get my serve down. I became consistent with my serves, which was very useful in the beginning of the season and in the games that I played in. And I really became an all-around better player and better teammate because of her.
Something that I think I learned from basketball in general is to be mevater. Especially as a team, and we would argue, we would have disagreements. The one thing we would say, we would just, it's called being mevater, which is it means to just say, it's fine, it's okay, whatever.
I've learned to definitely trust people more because, in school, you really count on yourself for your grades. But being on a sport, it's not just about you, it's about the whole team and all together.
Nothing other than complete dedication. I think that you have to be dedicated in order to be on a team, and you just can't give up, and if you're not there, there's something lacking on that team. So I think that once you're there, it just shows complete and utter dedication and unity on being on a team.
I'd say it's progressed from elementary school because when I first started, I was a small guy. I wasn't necessarily the most confident in the way I played, but as time went on, I kept working hard in practice, and I saw that paid off. And the more I did that, the better of a player I got, and it just piled on, and it kept getting better and better the more work I put in.
I think that being on the team affected my high school experience in terms of friendship and in terms of learning commitment and improvement and staying with it no matter what. I developed friendships with upperclassmen because of the team. I developed friendships with underclassmen because of the team, and those friendships, I think some will last for life. And in terms of commitment, as a freshman, no matter what, you're not going to be the best player on the team. And it's pretty humbling. And to stick to a team where like you're sitting on the bench for most, like the first 2 years, most of the time, it's hard to stay committed, but staying committed is so strong because you can come out being so good and learning so much.
Throughout high school, being on a sports team was honestly the best experience I could have had. Because one, it helped you make friends, especially coming in the freshman year. I came from public school, so I didn't really know a lot of people, or I knew a couple from Great Neck, but like I wasn't so close with them. So coming into that basketball team and making those friends as sophomores and freshmen, it was amazing. Like you walk in school, like you see like your teammates, you see your players, and you just dab them up, like you talk about anything, like you chill with them, you ball with them during school. It made it better. Also, just coming to games, having that HANC spirit, being part of the team was just an experience in its own. And being able to be on that team and having those friends and having those experiences, I would drop as much money as I can to have those again.
If you were an incoming freshman on the hockey team next year, I'd say to probably make sure you're running in practice for 2 reasons. One, because you're going to get yelled at by Rabbi Harris, and also because in general, just working hard in practice, it might not seem like it at first, but over time you'll see that your work will pay off and you'll become better.
You know, I don't know, you're not going to be as big or as strong as the other guys, so just the effort. Everything's effort. This game's effort. So, you know, if you're not giving it all in practice, if you're not giving it all in your game, then if you're saying, oh, I'll do it better next time or next shift, it's not it. It's not it. You know, you want to bring it this shift, and you know what? Maybe you'll take a couple shots after the whistle, but when you score goals, it's worth it.
You have to work hard. If you don't want to improve yourself, you're not going to last very long. And working hard really is putting yourself in a position to succeed. You have to want to get better in every part of your game. And if you want to be somebody who makes an impact on a team, then you have to be able to work on yourself and become better each and every single day in order to make your teammates better and as a whole to make the team successful.
It's definitely difficult at times because there are upperclassmen there, but to really just listen to what they have to say.
You need to show that you can take advice and genuinely apply it. If the coach is saying, oh, maybe toss the ball like this, don't just ignore her. Take her advice and use it.
Put in work in it every day. Be active, eat healthy, work out. Don't complain, you have time. Use the time.
Always try your best, because even if you're not so good in the beginning, you can always grow and you can always become a better player to get you on a higher position.
On the court, my favorite moment had to have been our playoff win last year against MTA at home. Just the energy that came from the crowd after both goals and after the game ended, it was just incredible. I've never felt anything like that. When that final horn sound and all the students on top of the stage like flew through the boards that were up there, knocked the boards off. A bunch of guys fell, but no, everyone went crazy, and that was just really impressive to me.
The MTA playoff game here was unreal. The environment, the atmosphere was really something I'll never forget. And then, you know, to cap it all off, scoring the game-winning goal was something I'll always be proud of. The game was back and forth. It was 0-0. It was 1-0. It was 1-1. Back and forth. It was, you know, it started to get a little chippy, a little dirty. I mean, this was our first home playoff game in a while, I think. And we had just finished a great regular season, so all our, you know, friends and family from all over on our back supporting us. So to be able to score that goal, see everyone go crazy, jumping on the court, jumping off the court, you know, and then after the game, that final horn was unbelievable.
Far our most memorable game moment, a moment that I will never forget, is when everybody thought that we were going to lose to MTA, when we made it to the playoffs when everybody was in their 11th grade year. We were going into that game, it had already been set on the website, TABC was waiting to play MTA, and they were just expected to come into our gym and just to beat us and move on. And I will never forget, with about 3 minutes left in that game, Judah Ehrenhaus shooting and scoring and the place just going absolutely nuts. Pulling off that upset was absolutely amazing. Throughout the season, we were underage, undersized, nobody gave us credit for anything, and we were able to legitimately put ourselves on the big stage and show that we were up there with everybody else.
My best memory was when we won the championship. Like, I actually was gonna pass out on the floor. It was like an outer body experience. It was the best thing ever.
Every Friday we played ball with our band. And the basketball team, usually all of us would be on the same team. We would run our plays. And we would run our plays while we're playing with our band. We'd be like, motion. We would like call plays. We would be like, we would say a schmirk was one of our plays. We would run our plays. And that's definitely, because we would see like, our team wasn't just a team on the court when we were like playing for the school. We would connect and we would make that effort to go all the way we can when we're also just playing with like our band. And we saw that like we had that like that chemistry. The more chemistry we had, the better we played together on and off the court, which was amazing. Also just the love we had for each other. If any of us needed help in school, like I would tutor him on in our algebra because he just needed that help. And that helped him, one, because it would make sure his grades were up, and two, it was you build a family when you're on the team in HANC. You don't see that in other schools.
I think a big moment that we had is, not everyone has their best games, and as a team, we just weren't at the fullest. For a team that we should have beat by 20, and there's 0.3 seconds on the clock, and we're down 3 points. And off scenes, you see our coach drawing up a play, and we're not so sure what's going on, and no one knows. And the other players, only 2 players were aware of this, and all of a sudden, our coach draws up a beautiful play, and from half court, my great player and teammate, Coral Levy, scores a half-court shot to win us the game. And you see everyone, and this is how you see that HANC, no one does it like HANC, is that everyone jumped on the court to support her. Everyone was there. It was a really big moment for HANC. Something that I thought was memorable about our grade in particular, being on the team, was definitely everyone just coming out to support each other. Whether it was for hockey, whether it was for soccer, whether it was for basketball, boys basketball, girls basketball, we all showed up for each other, to support each other, to cheer each other on, to hype each other up. And I think that nobody has better fans than the fans that we have at HANC.
One thing about Jessica I'll never forget, which is actually funny, is she loves to dive for the ball. Jessica will put her whole body on the floor for the ball to stay up. And it's just something you'll never forget. Like, the ball's coming and Jessica will actually just pancake on the floor to get that ball up. And I don't think I'll ever forget that since freshman year.
I met Leah Basali. I was like, wow, this girl has so much confidence. I wish I could be just like her. But over the years of, being a freshman and now being a senior with her, like, she's just like boosted my confidence on the team.
The current senior class was interesting, very spirited. How about that? Very spirited. Yeah, I think they take a leadership role, and I think that they realize that they are seniors, and I'm sure there are some times when there are things that they wanted to do that they were like, no, we can't do that. We're the seniors, we have to be role models, and I think for the most part they took that very seriously, and that is a mark of leadership. The first thing I would say is something that Rabbi Gottesman Zatzal taught me, and that is to have hakarat hatov. So recognize the good that was done. So to you, graduating class of 2023, Tafshin Pei Gimel, I say thank you. Thank you for your hard work, your devotion, and your dedication. And continue to grow. You've done great work in whether it's 4 years or 6 years that I know you here in the school. You've done great work. You've grown tremendously. Continue to grow.